it's Flo, and this is my impression of a Hollywood acceptance speech. I'm so surprised! I had no idea! I'm not even prepared! Okay. I'd like to thank the Progressive discounts that got me here. Safe Driver Multi-Car, Paid in Full Multi-Policy. This is just such a big moment. And did I mention that I'm surprised?
With all kinds of discounts, Progressive helps you save.
Oh, and I want to thank my agent and all my discounts agents because we all have the same agent. Don't start the music!
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Alpha Star Radio. Even on my other show, I can never wait for that woman to talk. I always seem to talk over her. Maybe I do it on purpose. Anyway, hope everyone's having a great Friday night. We are broadcasting from a different blog this evening, so it's a little out of sync tonight. And I'm just letting my boss know that I'm in and on live. The East Coast has been hit with some pretty serious storms. I've been actually really concerned the last couple of days for family and friends that live back there with tornado warnings. And the weather has just gone batshit crazy. Just one of those things. Well, on a positive note, Mercury is direct. Hooray! But I will say this. On a negative note, the type of astrology that I practice, my ephemeris calendar is a little bit different from a modern astrologer's. So with that being said, when Mercury went retrograde, it kind of took effect 3 or 4 days prior, and when it goes back to direct in modern astrology, in my method, it lingers for a few more days, and I'm still seeing some of those lingering things going on. But it's all in all, it's a good thing. And I hope everyone is having an awesome Friday night. I know I am, and we're going to jump right on into it. I am flying solo tonight. In the weeks to come, I will have some pretty good guests on. I'm going to have, I just talked to him this morning, too. I had him on a couple of weeks ago, the hypnotherapist, David Quigley. He's going to probably become every couple of months regular on my show, as I have decided to take a scholarship at his Alchemy Institute. So in about a year from now, not only will I be a licensed astrologer and tarot reader, but I will also be a licensed hypnotherapist. Moving on with my metaphysical studies. Yes. Well, June 16th, we will have a new moon in Cancer. And the new moon in Cancer takes effect about 10:05 a.m. That's on Eastern Standard Time. And some interesting things will take place. One thing about Cancer is very, it's very emotional. It's a very moody sign. Even if they don't show it on the outer, it shows on the inner. With this moon phase, it always brings beginnings and endings for all of us in our lives. So we may feel emotionally vulnerable at this time. And some of us, I know I kind of get like this in a Cancer moon. We kind of, we have a strong desire for solitude and retrospect, which is a very good thing. We need solitude and retrospect to process everything that's going on. Spending time with family, mother, and the home front will be very common, and if you have that opportunity, take it. It will make you feel better to spend time with your family. Now, this is an excellent time coming to invest in any kind of real estate, the food industry, and anything to deal with family members and matters in the home. Anything like that is blessed under these stars. Now, this moon may be difficult on one particular sign, and that is Capricorn. And it is advised that Capricorn be on guard and be skeptical. Don't jump into anything without put your logic and reason into it, Capricorn, and all will be fine. Well, tonight I'm going to discuss some Gemini. We have happy birthday to all June babies this month. It is the month of June, and the sun is in Gemini. And Gemini rules the third house of the zodiac. And, Gemini is the witty sign. It's a mutable sign. And when I talk about a mutable sign is a sign that really goes with the flow of things. I talk about a fixed sign. These are the most stubborn signs in the zodiac. And Gemini is very adaptable. They just everything ebbs and flows with them. They'll just kind of go with it. And it's actually a very good thing to be like that. Now, your ruling planet is Mercury, or in Greek mythology, we call this the messenger of the gods. Now, on the negative, this is also called the Lord of Thieves, because Gemini can be the Lord of Thieves. Now, Mercury rules communication, it rules transportation, journalism, talking, writing, broadcasting, the postal service, reading, and intellectual exchanges. Souls born with a strong Mercury are going to have the gift of youth. They'll be kind of have nervous tics, fidgeting and stuff like that, tapping their hands a lot. And they may have many careers in their lifetimes, or jack of all trades. Not all. And when I'm talking about Mercury, I'm not necessarily talking about Gemini. I'm a Capricorn, but the whole entire astrology chart is Mercury energy. So when I talk about Mercury, a lot of us have a lot of Mercury in our chart. But back to Gemini. You guys are the twins, and your energy is, it's dashing and swift. Your body parts are the nerves, the arms, the legs, the hands, the lungs, and the fingers, digits. You rule big cities, Gemini and Mercury. Anything to do with like New York City, Los Angeles, big cities. Gemini and Mercury will rule these cities. Now, I have set up a chat room, and I see someone is in there. So if you are looking to chat, it is under the Wicked Edge, and everything here at DTM is wicked. There's Wicked Metal Radio, there's the Wicked Edge, and it's all wicked good. Enjoy. So I'm going to just say hello to whoever's in there and get back to it. I'm broadcasting with a phone, so I have one hand free only. I don't have my headphones on as usual, like I normally do, where I have both hands free. So bear with me because of the storms back east. All of the hosts have had to broadcast through Blog Talk this evening, and it has been a while since Linda has self-produced herself. I've gotten a little spoiled to having Danny by my side on Friday evenings, and I think a lot of us hosts don't realize how lucky we are to have such good producers running things behind the scenes for us, because it is hard to do two jobs, both broadcast and run and manipulate the system behind the scenes. But I'm doing it, and I'm doing just fine. Back to Gemini. Your color, Gemini, is electric blue, and your mineral, of course, is mercury. Now, on a positive, I always have to talk about the negative. Now, on the negative side, with a strong Mercury energy, sometimes, not all the time, this usually depends on if Mercury is heavily afflicted. Mercury energy reacts with lies and cheating. They will argue to no end to get their point across. And I have, on a few occasions, have had to deal with many Geminis in my lifetime. And I can say this from an astrologer's point of view, from a pagan witch's point of view. You may be able to fool others, but you won't fool me. Not in this day. Never. So I can read you like a book, Gemini, usually. 9 times out of 10. There's always that 1%. Now, most Gemini personality traits are to talk and tell jokes, which is very common. And like I said earlier, they adapt and perceive well. Gemini souls are born intellectual, adaptable, and somewhat nervous, and they are prone to having a double personality. Now, they have a natural zest for life, and it can make them kind of impatient at times. They want to be everywhere, doing everything. That's Gemini. Most Geminis I know are born with a gift of youth. They seem to be younger than they look younger than they are. And it's just that's Gemini, and a lot of people who have a strong Gemini in their chart. I have a hidden dragon in Gemini. I know a lot of people that have a moon in Gemini. People who possess a moon in Gemini, regardless of what sign you are, you seem to have a faster metabolism. That just seems, you don't hold on to weight quite as much as others do with a Gemini moon. And other aspects too, but all in all, Gemini is the gift of youth. They're quick-witted and quick-minded. Now, to say about Gemini, because in the type of astrology that I've been taught, and it's astropsychology according to my teacher, and it does focus a lot on the human psyche and the mind. A lot of Geminis, not necessarily just Geminis, but people with a lot of Gemini in their chart, a lot of Mercurial energy in their chart. I could speak for myself, because I have this hidden dragon in this sign. When I was a kid, I had major ADD. I could not focus, and a lot of people that are born with a lot of Gemini in their chart have this trait, that they have ADD. Now, I've gotten through the years, I've been able to control it, and I do yoga and meditate, and that helps, and that keeps me grounded and centered and focused. But I can go in a million different directions, and that's just, But unfortunately, in mainstream society, they seem to show that ADD is a hindrance and a fault, when in reality, a lot of the children that I know today that are considered ADD or ADHD are absolute little geniuses, are more advanced souls than their psychiatrists trying to give them their meds. They're advanced little souls. One thing I've learned about Gemini is Gemini must learn to harness their natural energy. And when they focus and they crystallize their mind, this sign would do well with communication, radio, photography, public relations. Once they learn to train their mind to discipline it a little bit, there's nothing that they can't do and achieve. And this goes for the children that have ADD and ADHD. This is not a hindrance. This is actually a blessing in disguise. Of course, you'll hear from psychiatrists and psychologists that'll tell you, oh, no. Nuh-uh. These are little advanced souls, and they're going to be running the world someday. Good to know. Now, many Geminis learn at a much faster pace than most and will need to be challenged outside of conventional classroom settings. This is just like the child that has ADD or ADHD. A child that possesses these characteristics won't do well in, I'll use the California educational system as an example, Common Core methods of learning. They won't do well in that. They won't do well in the basic everyday environment. However, you give an ADD child astrology, metaphysics, science, astronomy, anything that's governed by the stars, or gemology, anything that is somewhat metaphysical, they're going to be guided and geared towards that. They're going to have a natural zest for doing that. They're programmed by their stars because they're advanced little souls. They vibrate on a higher level than most. So remember that, Gemini. Okay? Now, Gemini year forecast for 2015-2016. Now, since February of 2014, your north node of the dragon has been cruising through your fifth house of love, romance, children, and creativity. Now, some Geminis may have gotten married or began relationships in the past 16 months. They may have found love either with another human or in dealing with their own children, and some have fallen in love with their own kids. Some Geminis may have had their own children in this phase as well. Some Gemini females have been very fertile in the last 18 months, which makes complete and total sense to me. Some Geminis, let's see, where am I? This is a time to wake up, though, about affairs of the heart. Okay, this is serious. I got to tell this to Gemini. This is the time to wake up about affairs of the heart.